Are you looking for a quick and fun way to get your family out of debt this year? I'm sharing all of my secrets on my profitable furniture flipping business. Join me out in the garage.
Hi, I'm Kara with Lemons to Lemonade Furniture. I'm a crazy busy homeschool mom who hates credit card debt and does everything I can to stay out of it, and that means flipping furniture. Come join me out in the garage and I'll show you how it's done. I'm starting with a basic dresser that anybody can find on Facebook Marketplace. It's in really great shape with no damage, and you won't believe what this can turn into. I'll be sure to share my profit breakdown at the end, so stay tuned.
Up first, the hardware on this dresser has to go. These are totally dated and are not going to make this piece look very cool.
Next, I'll give the piece a good clean with some simple green. You want to use something that will get rid of grease and grime to clean your projects with.
The best way to find your pieces of furniture when you're getting started is to look for freebies. You can search Facebook Marketplace, your local Nextdoor app if you happen to have that for your neighborhood. Ask friends and family members if there's anything that they're getting rid of. Another really great option is to find out if you have a bulk trash pickup day in your area and know when that is and drive around. A lot of people put great furniture out at the curb. You can check your local thrift stores and see when they're doing 50% off days. I've found a lot of great deals during those times, but always check with friends, family, and neighbors first to see if they have anything that they're getting rid of. These are also really great pieces to start and practice on. It's getting dark outside. I've got one more thing to do before I turn in for the night. The top of this is going to need chemical stripper on the top of it to get through the thick finish. So I am going to put on a thick layer of citrus strip, cover it with some plastic wrap so it doesn't dry out, and leave it overnight.
If I'm doing anything more advanced on this project, it's probably this step right here as far as applying the chemical stripper to the top. But even this is not challenging to do. It really is just an extra step. You could use your sander and get through this. It'll just take you a lot more time. But really my goal for today with this project is to show you how quick and easy it is to make a profit from furniture with minimal upfront costs. You really won't believe what a little paint and some new hardware will do to a project like this. You can see that the chemical strippers had plenty of time to do its job, and now it's ready for me to remove it. I like to uncover half at a time, and this is for two reasons. The main reason is so that the other half stays damp and moist while I'm working on the first half and doesn't give the time for the stripper to dry up. I live in Texas, so I have to worry about heat a lot of the season. And then the second reason is it does make a good little trash can for me to pile this stripper onto, so it's easy cleanup later on. The best way to clean up any chemical stripper residue is to use some mineral spirits. I put some on the top of my dresser, and then I'll use some steel wool to give it a light scrub, and also helps remove any extra that's left behind and neutralize your chemical stripper so that it stops working.
To fill the drawer holes, I am going to mix up some Bondo wood epoxy. It's a 2-part epoxy system that you mix together. I put them in 3 little separate piles because once I add the hardener, this is gonna get hardened really, really quickly. And so that'll allow me to do a few drawers at a time, then mix up another batch, do a few more, and then mix up another batch without having to get up and get down and remix all the Bondo again. When you're purchasing supplies, start small. Only purchase the things that you're going to need right away. Buy paint colors that you can use on a few flips, and start with neutral colors only. Those are best and they sell fast. Don't worry about buying those high-end sanders or paint sprayers until you know that this is something that you really like to do and you're going to continue to do it. Save up for those larger investments later down the road. The top has had plenty of time to dry after the stripper was on it, and I'm going to be a little more aggressive with this today because it is a full wooden dresser. This is not a veneer top that I have, and I'm going to show you how I know that. I've got my Makita sander. I'm going to start with a 120 grit sand pad on this, and I'll work my way up from there so this wood feels nice and smooth by the time I'm finished. Look for what is selling in your area. I do a lot of looking online at sites like Wayfair, Pottery Barn, Anthropologie. These sites are styles that sell really well around me in the Dallas area. I'll also go into my local high-end furniture stores to see what they are carrying and to see what they're sold out of. I keep those ideas in mind, and then I look for pieces that are super similar to those that I can turn something into. This might be a little controversial, but I don't flip furniture for me. And what I mean by that is a lot of the pieces that I flip, they're not pieces that I'd use in my own home. I don't create styles for me. I create styles that sell. And I have room for no extra furniture in my house, which means it needs to get in and get out.
Once I finished sanding the top, I flipped the dresser on its back and sanded the bottom.
With all the sanding on the top and the bottom, I almost forgot that I needed to sand the dresser. I'm using my Surf Prep sander on the front of this. You can see all the different angles I've got, so the Surf Prep will work great. I've got a 240 sanding disc right here. So this just helps to rough off this just helps to rough. Why can't I say this word? This just helps to rough up the surface. Way too much sanding dust, I guess. And make sure that your paint is going to adhere. If you don't prime your surface well, and that includes sanding it and scuffing it up a bit, your paint is not going to stick over the long haul.
Now that I'm done sanding, I'll wipe my dresser down one more time to make sure all the dust is off before I start painting.
It's almost time to paint. I just need to tape off the top that I have sanded back so I don't get any paint on that. And I've got to tape up all these drawers, which I totally hate doing, but you got to do those extra steps before you start painting. So we're almost there. In today's video, I'm going to be using Wiseowl's 1 Hour Enamel in the color Urban Rhino. It's like a really white, light gray finish, which will be beautiful for this dresser. I love the Wiseowl 1 Hour Enamel because I can recoat it really quickly. Usually in about 30 minutes to 1 hour, it's ready to be recoated. And it also is pretty much like a 3-in-1. It has a stain blocker built into it, and it also has a poly top coat. So I'm not going to be needing to poly coat the top of this. It already has one built in.
Now that my paint is dry, I'll go to work on the top and the bottom.
Before I apply the stain, I'm going to use a tack cloth to go over the top to make sure everything is nice and clean before we start. I'm going to mix 2 of the Lily Moon gel stains together to get the color that I'm looking for on this top. But first I need to wet the top down with some water because these gel stains are water-based and they have a lot of open time as long as your surface has some dampness that's to it.
I like to use my small brush to apply the gel stain. I use my water bottle to keep the brush damp and move my gel stain around to make sure that it has full coverage. I let this sit on for just a minute or two and then I wipe it back. You don't want to let this dry. When I wipe it back, I'll use a lint-free cloth. I start off using lighter pressure to take off smaller amounts of the product. This product is very user-friendly, and you can wipe back as much as you'd like before it dries to give you the look that you're going for. You can also add a lighter or a darker gel stain of the same product on the top if you're looking for a bit of a different color than what you have on there. I'll apply the same gel stain color to the bottom. This Lily Moon gel stain does have a built-in top coat, but because this is a dresser that's going to have a lot more use on the top, I'm adding an extra protection with Lily Moon's Steller Shield, which is water resistant and incredibly tough once it cures. Once the gel stain's dried completely, I'll apply the Steller Shield with my top coat sponge.
I found these adorable handles on Amazon that just look like little pieces of twig and they're black. And I've been waiting for the perfect project to use these on, and I think this dresser is going to be just right for these. We are at the end of today's flip, and I cannot wait to show you what I've created. You know I can't make a video on how to pay off debt from flipping furniture without giving you the breakdown on my profits, so here we go. On this one, I paid $100 for the dresser, which is a bit high in my area, but it had really good bones to start with, so I knew that I could make a nice profit.
I already had all the supplies and the paint color, but if I had to rebuy those basics, they'd cost me about $100.
I sold this dresser for $600 on Facebook Marketplace, and it sold in 24 hours. It's amazing what a little paint and new knobs can do to transform an old item and bring up its value. Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. I hope this has been super helpful. Drop me a comment below and let me know what your favorite tip was today. I've started a new Patreon behind the scenes channel account, and I would love for you to join me over there, where we'll just connect on a more personal level. I'll give you weekly ideas of what I'm working on in my garage. You guys can vote on where you think I should take a project and what you'd like to see it turn into. And you can also vote on what you'd like my next project to be, plus a whole lot more. If you want to jump on over there and be one of the first ones to sign up, I will drop that link down below. I cannot wait to connect with you more in 2023. And I'll see you next time on Lemons to Lemonade Furniture.